excited to bring you a solo gameplay of Xia, Legends of a Drift system, but we're using the solo rules and some other prototype components from Xia Embers of a Fallen Star, which is currently on Kickstarter right now as the expansion for Legends of a Drift system. So real quick, a few of the, just to give you some ideas of what we're using, what we're not using. We won't be using any of the tiles from the expansion in this particular video. I am planning on doing some more videos in the future that will have that. None of the tiles, we won't be using the space station either. However, we will be using all of the exploration tokens that come with the expansion. So you'll see those prototype components, just paper print-offs, so obviously they're going to look nicer than that whenever the game comes out. Let's see, we're going to be using the economy board. We'll be using the updated fame point track, and we'll be using the event cards. I think that's everything that from the prototype. And then, of course, we'll be using the solo rules that come with the expansion. Now, keep in mind that this is all prototype stuff as far as the rules go. You know, that certainly is still being tweaked and adjusted, so it's certainly possible that these rules will be slightly different going, you know, once the game comes out. However, the way they exist right now is pretty close to the final product, close enough, obviously, for it to be up on Kickstarter right now. So, without anything else, let's get right into the game. All right, so here's the setup we've got going here in the beginning of the game. Now the solo rules state that you can actually draw tiles until you have at least 2 spawn points and at least 4 tiles total. And then you can arrange them any way you want to. I went ahead and just arranged them kind of the way the base game rulebook says whenever you're drawing 4 tiles. You don't have to do that. I could make a straight line out of these if I wanted to. I could make any sort of design I wanted, but that's how I've got it set up. A few things that I'm using from the prototype of the expansion. These are obviously not the original exploration tokens. I'm going to be using the expansion ones because I want to show you how those work, how they're different. And I'll show you, there's basically, let's see if we can get that. There we go. So there's 5 different things you're going to find there. You're going to find a type of supply cube. So there's each of the different supply cubes that are in the game or in these exploration tokens. So you can find those. Also, you'll find this right here, which is basically a mission that has already been halfway completed. So when you get this, you'll get a mission card and you act as if you've already completed the first part of that mission. And so then you're just going to the drop-off point or what have you. This right here is energy, and if you pull this one, you refill your energy all the way to the max. So if you're depleted, if you're stranded, you end up with this, all of a sudden you've got full energy again. You'll find this right here, which is +5 movement. Immediately, as soon as you get it, you now have an additional 5 movement, which can also be obviously very beneficial. And then there's this one, which is ice damage. Now, for right now, for the purpose of this video, we're not going to be using ice damage. I'm just going to treat this as a blank one, the way the X was in the base game. However, in a future video, I will show you how ice damage works. Now, the other cool thing is as soon as you have 2 exploration tokens, then you make a decision about if you're going to turn them in for 1 fame point or 2,000 credits. And that's a decision you have to make immediately upon receiving 2 of them. The economy board, and the way this will work is if I go on a planet and I purchase, let's say I purchase plasma right here, I will remove the plasma from this board, which means that right now the most plasma that can be bought during this game is 4. So if I were to purchase 4 plasma, I remove all 4 of them from there, and now no one can purchase plasma for right now. Now I've got this plasma in my cargo hold, obviously. If I go and sell plasma, then I would actually put, because you can see these arrows right here, whatever the next one is, and in this case it's cyber. If I sell a plasma on the board, then I put 1 cyber right here. Sell a second plasma, I put it there. So that increases the supply of cyber by selling plasma. And once this is full, then you can't put any more on the board. You can keep selling plasma, but it just doesn't create more cyber until you've freed up some space there. And so obviously cyber generates Terra, Terra generates Holo, Holo generates Spice, and Spice generates Plasma. Additionally, when this runs out like that, if it's still empty at the during my status phase, then I would take 1,000 credits, place it right there, and as soon as somebody generates this, and granted we're playing a solo game right now, so it'd be me, but as soon as I were to sell Spice and generate Plasma, I then would take that 1,000 credits. I'll also be using the updated fame point track for this game, and basically the main difference here is going to be that these spaces right here cause events to occur. So not only do you have titles coming out, but you have events coming out as well. Now you can see we're playing to 15 points. The reason we're playing to 15 fame points is because of this gold card. If you're playing the solo campaign, at the beginning of the campaign you choose a gold card, and then it tells you how many fame points you're playing to, and it gives you a goal for that particular game. So in this case, earn at least 7 fame points from exploration tokens and or gates in this game. And then once per game, you may, if you fulfill this, then for that point forward in the campaign, once per game, you may reveal all exploration tokens currently on the map, leave them face up. You still must collect them normally, and new tokens are placed face down as usual. So there's a bunch of these goals that you are able to choose from, and as you play the campaign, basically the whole point of the campaign is to complete these goals, and as you complete them, you will gain more rewards and that sort of thing. I'm going to be using the numerator to start off with. Now in the solo campaign, each game you play, you must use a tier 1 ship when you begin that you haven't used yet in the campaign. Once you've run through all the tier 1 ships, then you can go back and use them again. But the way it's written is that you must pick one you haven't used yet. And when you upgrade to a tier 2, same thing. When you haven't upgraded to previously in the campaign, unless you've used all the ones. So you're going to have to keep track of that as well. Also, at the beginning of the campaign, you only get 2,000 credits to outfit your ship. So I've chosen an level 1 engine, or tier 1 engine, and tier 1 shield. All right, so you can see we've got Kiplar 2 out here, which obviously means we've already got the Enforcer out, and we've got the Merchant out because 2 of his trade route planets are already on the board. And I'm down here with the numerator. So let's get this game started. And I believe what I'll do is I'll go ahead and spend 1 energy in order to explore. And let's choose... We'll choose this side here. So move this dice out of the way. See what we get. We've got Outpost 338. Okay, goes like that. And I'll go ahead and use 1 more energy to explore the other side there. And for that one, we've got the Expeditor Gate. So that's good. Let's go. We got one of the gates, and since that's one of my exploration tokens, and gates are going to be how I earn my fame points to win the goal. Oh, now I forgot we do have a exploration spot there, so let's go on and put one of these out there. Okay, so now I think the first thing I'm going to do is move down and try to get this exploration token there. Let's activate my engine and roll. Oh, dropping the dice. All right, let's see what we get. A 6. Oh, also before I go any further, just if anybody is not familiar with the numerator, his special ability is Afterburner. Immediately after an engine roll, spend 1 energy to roll a d20, and then you can see it adds to the engine roll. So that's what I've got going on with him. So we'll go 1, 2. Now, obviously, I'm going into the asteroid field. Got to roll the d20. 19. Okay, so I am safe. Anyone not familiar with the game, for the asteroid field, right here, 1 through 10 would have given me damage equal to that roll. 11 through 20, I'm good. So in this case, obviously, I am good to go. And get this, and what do we have? Holo. Now, when you find holo through exploration tokens or through mining, salvaging, any sort of good, through any of that stuff other than buying and selling on planet, you actually take it from the supply, not from the board. So you're actually bringing more goods into the economy by doing this. So let's go ahead and place that right here. And you can see I'm holding on to the exploration token until I get a second one so that I can then generate that into either a fame point or credits. Now I was right there. Okay, now so far I've used 2 movement and I rolled a 6. So I think I could go on over here and try to take that one as well, which would be a really good start. Or head over here. But I think I'll go this way because actually I've got holo up here that I can sell over here at Kemplar 2. So that seems like a good going ahead in that direction. It'd be nice if I could find another holo to get a fame point for selling it. So we'll see what we do. But let's go that way. So I've used 2 movement, 3, 4, 5. Now going into the debris field is easier and more dangerous at the same time. If I roll a 1 through a 3, I die immediately. Nothing I can do. 4 through 20, good to go. So here we go. Let's see what happens. $18, so good to go there. Okay, and I found some cyber that time. All right, and again, that comes from the supply. We'll put that right there. Got 1 movement left. So I think actually I'll just end my movement there. And instead, let's explore this right here. So use 1 energy. All right. Oh, and we've got the Delta Skate. This is fantastic. And you know what? I just realized I'm forgetting an important part of the game. I have 2 exploration tokens, and you're supposed to immediately transfer those into fame points or credits. So let's go back and do that real quick. Now, I have to admit, I'm tempted to go ahead and turn these into fame points right off the bat. However, due to the fact that I have only this standard engine here, I really would like to have a bigger engine to start off with in the game, especially since most of where my fame points are going to come from, or where I want them to come from, is from exploring. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these and transfer them into 2,000 credits. So there's that. One thing I forgot to mention before we go any farther, one thing I forgot to mention about the solo rules is that with the titles, you're actually supposed to reveal one at the beginning of the game to already have ready to go. So right here we've got collector. Without making a purchase from Smuggler's Den, have at least 1 of each of the 5 types of cargo cubes in your hold, and then collect 1,000 credits whenever you sell all the cargo cubes in your hold. Okay, so that's the current title that we have available. Also removed from the title deck are these Avenger, Heroic, and Generous. The solo rules tell you to remove those. So, you know, all right, so with this one out there, I almost don't want to buy an engine anymore. But you know what? We'll keep going with the plan, because actually when you look at this, I only have 4 spots available. So I can't really complete this. Yeah, okay, so we're just going to leave that the way it is. And when I upgrade to tier 2, then I'll go after the collector title. Okay, so I think with the introduction of the Delta Skate down here, having the Expedia Gate already out, I think I need to go ahead and just collect that fame point for jumping through that. So let's activate our engines again. There we go. We'll roll the 2d6. That was a 2. Got a 3 this time. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. That will get us 1 fame. Oops. 1 fame point, which, as you can see, activates the events here. Now you can see I got this Star Wars. These are Star Wars playing cards. The events are obviously still prototypes, so it's just printed out on paper. That's why it's got Star Wars on the back. But here we go. Re-tethered. While this card is in play, the Tigress Gate is now connected to the other gates, and players may move freely between all of them. The special rules for Tigress Gate are ignored. First player to use the now functioning Tigress Gate earns 1 fame point. This card leaves play when this card does not leave play. If Traveler title card is active and unclaimed, discard this card and draw a new event card. All right, so this card is a permanent event card, and now for the entire game, whenever Tigress Gate comes out, it will be connected to both of the other gates. All right, so I've got one more activation point on my engine, and I still have my impulse, still at full shields. So trying to think here what the best move is. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is activate, I think I'll activate my impulse, run through this mission part here to grab a mission, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then, or 1, 2, 3, and then blind jump there for 4. Or just go 1, 2, 3, and then hopefully, let's do that. Let's do a blind jump. So 1, 2, 3. So coming off of the Expeditor gate, blind jump. Here we go. I think I'm okay. This comes in like this. We got Neo Damascus here. Buys or I can buy plasma from him and sell spice. So there. Oh, and obviously don't forget to draw the cards. Are backed with white. That's because of the prototype mission cards. Now none of them are in here, but we will talk about those in a later video. All right, so let's see. Shuttle, research, and assassin. I'm not in any shape to do assassin missions yet, so we'll go ahead and throw that one out right away. And what do we have here? So pick up passengers at Pelmont, which is not on the board yet, or fly to Lunari and do research. Lunari is on the board, I'm actually pretty close to it, and deliver to Outpost 338. So that sounds like the one we're going with. And back over here, I have one movement left from my impulse, and I figure I might as well head towards Lunari, since that's where my mission has me going now anyway. So one more movement there. Oh, and let's not forget for Neo Damascus to place that there. Okay, so I have one more activation point on my engine. So let's go ahead and activate that. Got a 5 that time. And we might as well pick up that expiration token there. 1, 2, 3 on the way to Lunari. We got a energy. Excellent. That means my energy is now full again. And we'll keep this right here. Now I could continue on to Lunari, but I will not have enough. I should have used, okay. I have a bad habit of forgetting about Afterburner. I should have used that. I'm not going to retroactively use it right now. I should have used that to make sure I got to Lunari's mission point, but we'll leave that alone for now. Instead, because there's no reason to go on to Lunari for me, really. Well, I guess I could go ahead and do the outfit. Yeah, okay. So I'm pretty sure I have 2 movement points left. I think I remember that it took me 3 to get here, because where was I? It was here, right? 1, 2, 3, yeah. So 4, 5. All right, I'm on Lunari. What I was considering there was I was considering exploring or scanning, scanning a sector over there. But since I want to be able to purchase a larger engine, I went to Lunari. So that will be the end of my action phase, and I'm going to go into my business phase real quick. Let's go down here. All of these will be fully charged. I'm going to sell my M22 engine. Is that? Yeah. Sell that. I get 1,000 credits, and I'm also going to buy the Halon engine for 2,000 credits. So let's see how we can fit that on there. That'll work. And obviously, so I sold that one for 1,000, and this cost me 2,000. So I'll just take 1,000 credits, toss it back in. Also, I apologize. I'm sure a lot of you who have played plenty of Xayah were screaming when I pulled this action or event card. That should have been pulled during my status phase, not in the middle of my turn. So I apologize for that. Like I told you at the beginning of the video, this is really only my 4th real game of Xayah that I played. So I'm still working on some of the timing issues there. So next, let's take a look at this. End of player's turn during the solo player game. Choose an unexplored location with the most adjacent sectors. Pick an edge first, then reveal a sector and match the edge symbols. So it looks like the most that any area has is 2 adjacent sectors, which I think is pretty common. Sometimes you will find an area with 3. That 3 is the most I found, but we've got 2 here, there. So where do we want to put this new sector that's going to come out? Here's something to consider. The scoundrel obviously shows up when Loath comes out, and the way the solo rules set the game up, if Loath or Kemplar 2 don't come out when you originally put the tiles out, you find them and put them, you shuffle them in with the 5 top tiles in the game, so that way you know for sure that somewhere in the top 5, 5 to 7 tiles or so, you're going to get both Kemplar 2 and Loath. Now, with the scoundrel getting ready to come out, he's powered up a little bit for the solo game and can be a huge pain. I think I'm going to put the tile, let's put it here, just kind of keep him a little ways away from me, if that is what's about to come out, because we've drawn 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles so far, so he's got to be coming out pretty soon. So let's see what we got here, and look at that, there we go. All right, so there we go. There's Loath, and that means the scoundrel is now in the game. Now with the NPCs, I generally activate them when I'm playing solo in the order that they came out. And when I was setting up, the enforcers came out first, followed by the merchant, and obviously you just saw the scoundrel come out. So that's the order we're going to activate them. So we're going to activate the enforcer first. A couple of rule changes for the enforcer for the solo game. He will target the player if the player has a bounty from any distance away. And he never targets the scoundrel or the sellsword. So if you get a bounty, he's coming after you no matter what. Otherwise, he's going to just travel between lawful planets. Also, if the enforcer is attacked by an innocent ship, meaning you basically, if you attack the enforcer, regardless of how much damage you do to him, you still get a 1,000 credit bounty. That also goes if you target the merchant. And the enforcer's been powered up a bit. Instead of attacking with a D8 missile, he attacks with a D20 missile. All right, so obviously I don't have a bounty, so he's going to move towards the spawn point of Lunari here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's going to be his turn. Next up, we've got the merchant. Now, the only rule change for the merchant is that if he gets attacked by an innocent ship, me or the sellsword, that ship will get 1,000 credit bounty, regardless of the amount of damage. And also, when I'm talking about that 1,000 credit bounty for attacking a ship, if you also destroy the ship, you still get that additional bounty for destroying the ship as well. So, the merchant currently is at Lunari. Sorry, the baby's making some noise over there. Currently at Lunari. And so next going to Dwarven 5, which is not out. So Azure is not out, so Kemplar 2 is where we're going. So he travels his standard 8 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And of course he gets 1,000 credits for making it to that cell space. Next up, we've got the scoundrel, who has a few changes to his rules as well. If the sellsword's in the game, then the scoundrel is going, and if the sellsword is hired, the scoundrel is going to target whichever one's closer, the player or the sellsword. Otherwise, he's always going to come after the player. He doesn't mess with the merchant in the solo game. The scoundrel will move 10 spaces in the solo game instead of his normal 5, and he attacks with 2 D8 blasters in the solo game. So he has been charged up quite a bit and can be a huge pain. All right, so the scoundrel is going to move 10 spaces towards me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And even though technically we're next to each other, I am on the other side of that gate, so he cannot attack me. I'm just out of reach. That worked out pretty well. Okay, So now we move on to the next step here, which let's see, is going to be end of round NPC gains fame points. So, and by the way, this right here, the NPC gaining fame points, this is going to be regardless of whether or not any are actually in the game yet. So if this is the very beginning of the game, none of them have shown up, you're still going to do this step. So basically what you're going to do, roll D20, and this result right here is how many fame points you're going to get. And so whatever you roll, you're going to add 2 for each cube that was cargo cube that was left on the board. So for instance, if I had been blown up and left cargo cubes on the board, you take them off the board and they'd add 2 to their D20 result for each of those. Plus 2 for each 1,000 credits of bounty that they had collected, and plus 2 for each fame point that the NPCs are behind me. All right, so right now, let's go ahead and roll, and they're behind me by 1 fame point, so that's the only adjustment we'll make. Well, they rolled a 15, that's pretty good. And let's see, so 15 plus 2, okay, they're behind me by 1, so 17, so they're going to get 2 fame points. So all the NPCs share 1 marker, so they'll move up 2 right there to Asteroid Worm, and now they're winning. So we're going to stop there for right now. We're already about almost to a half hour for this video. Got through 1 round. Now keep in mind there was a lot of rules explanation and stuff like that in this video. Future videos will go faster as far as how quickly the rounds go by. I'm definitely going to get more videos up very soon to continue this gameplay. We're going to play all the way through this mission, and hopefully I'll come out on top. Obviously right now it's very close between me and the NPCs. Hopefully you like what you've seen so far. Stick around. It keeps getting more and more interesting as the more NPCs come out and some of the events really start going, and hopefully I can make a run for one of these titles. As we're playing, keep in mind I've only played Xayah. I think this is my this is my 4th playthrough of Xayah. So if you see any rules that I'm not getting quite right, any timing issues, that sort of thing, please leave it in the comment section below, and I will be sure to adjust in future videos. And yeah, I look forward to getting into more of this with you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a comment in the comment section below and give this video a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe. And until next time, if you're bored online, board offline.